Welcome back to the channel. My name is a-bomb. We are back with Football Manager 2020 and the start of a brand new series. Now I'm going to explain what's happening before we get into this and why I'm starting a new series when I'm 3 seasons into a journeyman. So I was teasing with the idea of doing a save in the 06-07 database that MadScientistFM has created, which this is what this is going to be. I'm going to do 1 season with this database. The reason for that is that 1, promotional project isn't getting a great deal of views, and 2, I'm almost in August. We've been promoted with an S, we're looking for a new job and we haven't found one yet. So I didn't want to put something out just saying we haven't got a job yet. It would have been a pointless video to make. So we're going to start a brand new series. And it's going to be, as I said, with the 06-07 database that the Mad Scientist FM has created. Link is in the description to how you can get it. As I said in the simulation video, it costs a minimum donation of $1, either through Patreon or through his PayPal, if you want to get the database for yourself. And yeah, we did a bit of a simulation last week. We looked at what would happen in 2020 in this alternate timeline, what sort of differences there'd be. I'm not going to be doing a second video of that, so if there is anything you want to know, then tweet me and I will try and do some screenshots. I'll list a few things, like someone asked me about who the managers are. I think what I'll do is I'll just list some big managers or something, but we're not going to be doing a second video looking at the simulation. We're going to do 1 season with Sheffield United. So we have taken the job. Sheffield United have today confirmed the appointment of Andrew Brown as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the 28-year-old who has recently spent time away from club football, and he's sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Bramall Lane. Brown has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal worth £18,500 per week, replacing previous manager Neil Warnock. Brown lacks the reputation of a survival specialist, which, given the club's current ambitions, creates an intriguing dynamic as they intend to retain their place in the division. So, 2006, Sheffield United promoted to the Premier League as runners-up behind Reading, Watford winning the playoffs. Neil Warnock has been at the club since, I think, 1999. I did a video on Neil Warnock a little while ago before starting the promotion project, because he was a bit of an inspiration for the series, an influence for the series, because he's the most successful manager in the country at achieving promotions, with 8 promotions, one of which was with Sheffield United. So that's who we're taking charge of today, Sheffield United. Today we're just going to have a look through the squad and see what the club's about. Before we move on to next episode, will be the first game, which will hopefully be tomorrow. It'll be the very next day. We'll see though. 3-star reputations, media prediction of 19th, Reading, Sheffield United and Watford, the 3 that came up. Predicted to be the same 3 to go down. We've got technical director Jan van Winkle, and our assistant manager, our ass man, is Stuart McCall. Club play at Bramall Lane, 32,500-ish capacity, built in 1855, one of the oldest clubs in the country, Sheffield United. Excellent training facilities, good youth facilities and adequate youth recruitment, which isn't going to be a big factor really, because we're only doing 1 season, so youth intakes and stuff aren't going to be a massive factor. Okay, so a little squad overview. You can see our best 11. It looks like a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Alright, so ongoing plan to work within the wage budget. I'm sure we can do that fine. Club culture, make the most of set pieces. Develop players with youth and play possession football. So this season they're expecting us to fight bravely against relegation. So if we go down, it might not be the end of our job, but they're expecting us to put up a fight and not end up with like derby points, like 30 points. 30 points. Expectations to reach the 4th round of the FA Cup, so we'll enter at round 3. They expect us to win our first match, and if we get a good draw, that should be okay. And then the League Cup reach round 3. I think we enter at round 2, so hopefully we can win that as well. So let's have a look at this squad then. Now we'll sort these by position. So we've got 2 goalkeepers. Paddy Kenny is the first choice goalkeeper, Irishman at 28 years old. Looks like a solid goalkeeper for the club. Hopefully he can do well. I don't remember too much about the Sheffield United squad back then. I do remember a handful of players, but for the most part, they finished second bottom, I think. And I don't remember. They weren't that memorable of a team, I don't think. They did get some big results. The opening day of the season, they drew with Liverpool. That I do remember. And I think they might have beaten Man United in that season as well, but I'm not too sure. It's a long time ago. We're talking 06-07. We're talking, what, 13 years ago. It's a long time ago. Other goalkeeper is Ian Bennett, who's 34, and looks like a solid replacement. First touch isn't good, though. That'll probably end up in an own goal. In defence, we've got Lee Bromby, 26-year-old Englishman, who's been here since 2004. Central defender. Somewhat available as a right back. He looks pretty good actually. Actually got some decent attributes, some 14s in there. I like it. Claude Davis is another centre back, 27 years of age. Again, looks pretty decent. Ball playing defender as well, so not a bad passer of the ball. As like a normal central defender, not great with the marking, but good header of the ball. 6'3" as well. Hopefully he can get some goals for us. Very strong jumping reach. He could be a real nuisance for set pieces. Chris Lucchetti, 34. Not very quick. He's slowed down a little bit, so he's probably going to just stay back all the time. But the main technical attribute is very good. 15 heading, 14 tackling, 16 marking. That's great. Chris Morgan, I think, is the captain at the moment. 20 determination is the immediate thing that stands out. Again, looks very solid. 28. Lots of English players here, like, probably not good enough to play for England, because this was like, you had John Terry at the back at this time, and like Sol Campbell was like just coming to the end of his England career, I think. Ledley King was still floating about, so it was very hard to get into the England team, especially if you're a team like Sheffield United. Like, then the England team was very much picked based on reputation, like Chelsea defenders and Man United defenders like Ferdinand and Wes Brown and Neville. It was very much, the England team was dominated by like the big four Premier League teams back in like 2006. Craig Short looks like an option that could maybe go. He's transfer listed and he's 37 years old. Contract comes to the end this season, so we can try and offer him out and try and get maybe a little bit of money for him, but not too much. He's only valued at about 50k. David Somme is how many centre backs does this team need? Christ almighty, there's like 6. Again, this one looks pretty good. We've got lots of options for central defenders. We could go with a 3 at the back for this. We got the personnel to do it. David Unsworth, left back. Now, he left for Wigan in this season, and it was actually Wigan's final day of the season that I think they beat Sheffield United. He scored the penalty on the same day that West Ham beat United 1-0, and that sent Sheffield United down. Unsworth started the season for Sheffield United, scored the winning goal to relegate them. That's irony. So he's available at left back. We've got Rob Kozluk at right back. As a wing back, like, his crossing and that's not too good, so he will probably be put in as a fullback. Some of these are a bit low for my liking. Some of those mentals aren't great, but some of them are decent. Physically, he's great. So Kozluk, wait and see what happens with him. Mikel Ligertwood. I've never known how this is said. Is it Ligertwood? Ligertwood? I actually never knew how this guy pronounced his name. Antigan and Barbuden. Another right-sided defender. Can also play through the middle as a midfielder, although seems to be better as a wing-back, full-back. Phil Jagielka. Another central defender, but actually seems to be more of a defensive midfielder in here. I've always thought of Jagielka, like, even like throughout his Sheffield United days and his Everton days, as a centre-back, not as a defensive midfielder, but he is a defensive midfielder in the game, but we could play him as that defender. Again, very good attributes. Probably the best player at the club at this time, Jagielka. Derek Geary, another right-back. How many does this team need? Christ almighty. Chris Armstrong is a left-back. This is ridiculous. Half this squad is defenders. Alan Wright, another one. He's going to go. Who's he wanted by? Lots of players on loan. We're going to list him. He's 35. Alan Wright's going. Lee Tai. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Was it Everton before Sheffield United? And has come from China. One of the few like established players in the Premier League from China. Like Nick Montgomery, another central midfielder. Looks like a solid option. Regular player who could improve. Couple of 20s in the mentals, and again, really good physicals as well. Naturally fit, good stamina, so he should be able to play every week. But 20 teamwork and work rate, I like it. Good marker as well, good tackler. Michael Tonge, one of the players that I remember for this team, can play central midfielder or on the left as an inverted winger or wide playmaker. So prefers either foot. Keith Gillespie is a right-sided player. Looks okay, 31. We could try and get a bit of money for him, maybe. Alan Quinn, central midfielder, maybe a bit more further up, but looks like another sort of box-to-box player. Don't really seem to have a lot of playmakers in this team, but again, this guy looks pretty good. It's a hard-working team. I'm seeing a lot of good work rates and teamwork, which is good. Lots of cohesion, I like it, and he's an aggressive player as well. Paul Eiffel, I'm not sure how that's said, right winger. And again, he looks okay. Got a little bit of potential about him. He's 26 from Barbados. Rob Hulse, one of the players I remember because he scored against Liverpool on the opening day. So he's one of the players that I do remember. Target man, 6'1", 17 heading. I've just seen how many strikers there are for this team as well. This is ridiculous. Danny Webber, one of the better strikers in the team. And in that starting tactic, he was looking to be the man up front, advanced forward, determined, only 24 at this time, was a Man United youngster. He started out at Man United, went to Port Vale on loan, had a bit of time at Watford, and now he's with Sheffield United. I didn't know that he played for United at this time. I remember Hulse being the striker and the next guy we're going to see, but I didn't remember Danny Webber. Colin Kazim Richards is another guy that I remember playing for them. He might still be playing now, actually. He's 19. Where's Kazim Richards now? He's 33 years old. He is currently playing at Pachuca, which I think is a Mexican team. It is from Mexico, but hasn't played in England since 2013 when he played for Blackburn. But since then he's been in Turkey, the Netherlands, Brazil, Scotland. He had a bit of time at Celtic. Christian Nardet, French, another target man, 6'1", 15 heading, 15 first touch, so again decent in the air. Ade Akinbaye, Nigerian pressing forwards, important player in his prime years, technically not fantastic. Stephen Kaba, advanced forwards, been here for a few years, since 2002, physically fantastic, technically okay. Jeff Horsfield is player out on loan, so we won't bother looking at him. And then lastly, Neil Shipley, another target man. He is transfer listed though, so this guy is probably going to go English. Again, good header of the ball. This is a big squad, and we've got lots of defenders and lots of attackers, but the midfield seems to be the missing link here. The midfield does not seem to be very good, so that's where we're going to try and put some work in. Do we have money? We have £2 million in the transfer budget, but no wage budget really, £120 a week. So we are going to have to sell before we buy just to get that wage budget back up. Some of these defenders are going to go. We don't need this many defenders. And again, the same as strikers. We're going to get rid of some of these as well. And then try and put some money into that midfield, because it does seem a little bit lacking. But with the amount of defenders that we have, we could go 3 at the back. And with so many strikers, we could go for a 3-4-3. Like, it might be a bit of an attacking formation, but that could work. So the suggested systems we play, we've got a route 1, which we're not going to be playing. We've got a fluid counter-attack, soak up pressure, more expressive for fluid, or we've got a direct counter-attack. We're going to start out with fluid counter-attacking, I think. And this is a possibility. Or this. Like, this could definitely be something that we look at doing, because we haven't really got a lot of wingers. We've got lots of defenders, and we can play 2 forwards. That could work. I think this might be something to look at as a 3 at the back. It's something that I've not really done too much. I did it with Chelsea on last year's game, and it worked really well. But it's not often that I actually go with a 3 at the back system with this game, but this could really work. If we do a quick pick and see what it gives us. So we've got Kenny, Morgan, Bromby, and Davis. I mean, it might be a case of going 5 at the back rather than going with wing backs, but again, this seems to work really, really well. But I'll do some playing around with it and see what we can do. Like, this is okay. I think the midfielders might have to change their roles a little bit, but yeah, we'll definitely have a look and see what we can do with this. Looking at the schedule, we start off against Man City, which sounds horrible, but Man City was very different in 2006. Managed by Stuart Pearce, and in their ranks, they've got players like Neda Manua, who was a good defender back then, Sylvain Distin, Richard Dunn, who I think scored more own goals in the Premier League than anyone else, Ben Thatcher, who I only remember for trying to kill Pedro Mendes, Micah Richards at 18 years old, Danny Mills, Joey Barton, Ousmane Darboe, who I think Joey Barton beat the shit out of, it might have been him, Stephen Ireland at 19, Darius Vassell, Georgios Samaras, the Greek player, Paul Dickov. This is a very different Man City squad. We have got some friendlies to get to before that though, so we're going to try and get through these as quickly as we can, and then hopefully start off with Man City in the very next day, and hopefully we can do that tomorrow. And hopefully this will be really, really fun for a couple of weeks, just while the promotion project's on the shelf, while we try and find our next job. But oh yeah, hopefully this should be good, and if you're enjoying it, if you're looking forward to it, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And I'll see you in the next video, where we're going to kick off our Premier League campaign with Sheffield United, taking on Man City, and yeah, the 06-07 season will be underway. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.